Before we begin, I wanted to extend another loving shout out to my guy Albert. Thank you so much for donating these figures to me, man. It really does mean a lot, and I really do appreciate it. Now I guess we can get to talking about this funky little set.
ShinRobjira.
Released in 2002, but originally released in 1999 through 2000 as part of the Ultra Real Hyper Godzilla line from Bandai, this version is a reboxed figure that featured the Super X, making it one of the very few Bandai releases to actually come with a friggin' vehicle. Bandai, I'm begging ya, the movie vehicle series, when's it gonna happen? Please. Give it to me. But despite lacking the Super X that came with this figure, we still have a whole new Godzilla figure to talk about, so let's get to it. So like I said prior, this is from the Bandai Hyper Godzilla series. I'm pretty sure and very much hoping that says Hyper Godzilla, but as you can see right next to Godzilla, it says +1, as this little spin-off series of figures featured figures that came with vehicles, or in Godzilla 1954's case, the Oxygen Destroyer. And this is a cool little subset of figures to be producing there, Bandai. I don't know, Godzilla minifigures with vehicles? I feel like it's just a good idea. A good idea that should totally come back at this point. More and more I see people discussing how they would just like vinyl recreations of all the famous Godzilla vehicles, and I think that's something that Bandai can do relatively quickly with a lot of ease. I mean, just look at the Super X over here. It's a metallic ravioli of death. Pretty simple, and you really don't have to add too much paint to it, so again, I will reiterate myself, Bandai movie vehicle series when? I need it. Here's the back of the box, and as you can see, this was 295 yen. Not a lot of money at all. And then we get a little read up on the Super X over here. You guys already saw the sides, and as for what's on the inside of the box, you can see that if you took the box apart, there's actually some instructions printed on the inside on how to build Godzilla and the Super X, although it's pretty simple, so there's no point in destroying this beautiful, amazing box. And here we have the runners and the plastic baggies, and we have this candy. I will not be eating it, don't ask me to. And now we can talk about the figure, but before we do that, we actually have to put the boy together because he is in pieces. And this will be a good time to take a look at some of the details on these pieces because, oh man, there's a lot of it. Very nice looking dorsal fins. Now this says C, that stands for center. If you couldn't tell, this has an R, so you're going to put that on the right over here. Very nice. Loving the way those are layered. As you can tell, I'm fairly easily impressed by certain things such as this, and just look at that. Very nice. And now you're going to look at Godzilla's backside. You're going to take this and just shove it into his back, make it look like so. Then you're going to get this very pipish looking tail. Yeah. Apply it like so. And here we have Godzilla's left arm. That's going to go into the left hole. And here we have Godzilla's right arm, that's going to go into the right hole, and here we have Godzilla's adorable little head. And I have to give Bandai a lot of credit, the eyes are applied very nicely. He is a little on the wall-eyed side, but he was like that throughout the whole movie, so can't really give him too much flack. But the detail on this head alone, oh my god, Bandai, please, do it all over again. But anyway, let's make him whole, and here he is. Hyper Godzilla 1984. Now, I already talked about the eyes, and that's pretty much the only painted piece in this set, save for maybe the dorsal fins. I feel like they were black, but then painted white. You can kind of see a little bit of that poking out, but that might just be this type of material aging over time. I'm not very sure. But again, as far as those eyes go, they are very nicely done, and I'm going to have to give that a solid star. Detail-wise, though, I mean, it's Bandai. They killed it. This is a tiny figure, and this dude's hamburger helper looking ass head looks awesome. You can see the nostrils, you can see the bumps and grooves of the skin, you can see the very strong brow that the 84 design had. You can even see the dorsal fins starting to form at the very top of his head. And turning this guy to the side, you can even see his ears. It just looks so friggin' good, man. It's really hard just not to be impressed. At least it's hard for me to not just be impressed because this looks so freaking good, dude. Oh, and again, very tiny figure. A lot of very suit accurate details going on over here, especially towards the chest. And you know, just the fact that there are bumps on the skin that are actually discernible and don't look like little dots or whatever is just very impressive, yeah. The tail looks fantastic, has a beautiful curve to it. This thing is just Impressive, dude. Solid star in terms of detail, easily. Just wanted to take a closer look at Godzilla's arm over here, and yes, the nails are entirely separate from the fingers. They're not just pointed parts of the fingers. You are going to see detail for Godzilla's skin on his forearms, his wrist, and even on the inside of the hand. Bandai, bring this series back, please. Even if the only paint on these things were to be the eyes or maybe the dorsal fins, even if they were just one solid color in terms of the body, I'd be perfectly fine with that, because this is a tiny figure. It's a tiny figure, and the details look amazing. And the figure itself looks amazing. I mean, just look at this guy compared to this Shokugan Godzilla Phileas figure. It's awesome. I'm actually surprised he's a bit taller. And here he is next to the Bandai Hyper Godzilla series Godzilla 1998 figure, and there's an interesting difference between these two. 84 is like a bit of a squishier vinyl, like it's malleable, while 1998 Godzilla is more of a solid vinyl, which is, I find that interesting. I'm pretty sure G98 was part of the very first wave of the Hyper Godzilla line, so I wonder if they started out as more solid figures and then just kind of evolved into squishier figures over time. I don't know. These are my only two Hyper Godzilla figures that I own. Now I guess we can move on into size comparisons and other stuff. Not our first Hyper Series Godzilla review on the channel, but a welcomed one nonetheless. Yet again, Bandai out here killing it with the detail. And while the series never really did much with paint, the details alone are praiseworthy. The Hyper Series is a line I hope to see return at some point. I mean, there were minifigures with a wild detail streak. Sign me up. And seeing the lines pass with the era representations, Showa, Heisei, Millennium, like, extra sign me up, dude. I would love to have mini Godzilla figures representing all the different eras. I would honestly love to see what these would look like from Bandai of today. And yeah, I mean, we do have the HG series, and we do get Shokugan releases every now and then, but something like this, I'm perfectly fine with spending money on it again. And Bandai, even if you just go about, I don't know, re-releasing the entirety of the line and then make new figures, I'd be fine with that too. I would love a chance to own a full Hyper Godzilla line from you guys. And please, bring back the +1 sub-series for this line, because I want more vehicles like this, I really do. Or just do the Bandai movie vehicle line, I'd be happy with that too. But anyway, I have been ShinRobjira. I do so hope you all enjoyed this video. Albert, yet again, thank you so much for donating these figures to me, my guy. I do appreciate it so very much. And when next we meet, we are going to be talking about a figure that very quickly became one of my absolute favorite vinyl Godzilla figures ever. Thank you again, Albert. I'll see you all then and there. Peace.